This video is made for adult collectors because I was surrounded by so many cool action figures. It was insane.
So this room is huge. How do I turn that? Oh, whoa. This room is enormous. Whoa. There's only one person in here. Why are there two sitting? Okay. This is a pretty sweet hotel room. So apparently I gotta press one of these buttons to make the curtains close. What's this one do? Oh. Okay, that's kind of neat. I need to reorganize this. I keep having this random phone number call me, and I answered them like, hello, and then they hung up. But then they keep calling me, so I've had to like do not disturb and block them. It's annoying. So anyways, I was in China recently, as I haven't shut up about it for the last few days, courtesy of Blockies. But this particular video is just about toy shopping in China and what I did, where I went, what I saw, what I bought that wasn't Blockies related, because there was a lot of really interesting stuff. We're gonna do this all like Dank Pod's Cashies video style, except my ugly mug is in front of the camera this time. Hi. Blockies gave me a comprehensive guide of stores to check out while I was down there, plus there were stores that weren't on that guide that I wanted to see as well, so I went all over the place taking the subway. I figured out the subway. It was actually quite easy, so that was nice. It started with Toys R Us. I went there with fellow creator Botbender Orange, which a lot of you should probably know, I'd assume. He's a very large creator. And we found the motherload of like Mini Force and metal cardbot toys that would make Sam G cry. But there was a lot of stuff in there. It was kind of overwhelming. Not to mention a bunch of ZD Toys, Iron Man figures, Joy Toy mechs, and Joy Toy Space Marines, which was really cool to see it at Toys R Us, because over here we only get them at EB Games. There was also this weird Captain America model kit. There was also a Thanos, a Black Panther, and a Thor. I've never seen these before. They reminded me of Neo Shifters. I went in there expecting not to find much, but I found so much because I was expecting it to be like the Canadian Toys R Us's, but it isn't. So, take that Canadian Toys R Us, you suck. But then the next day I went to the Hot Toy store, which sucked. It was just Iron Man, some other little Marvel things, and then Star Wars. That was it. I wanted to get Hot Toys Vi, who had just come out in China. They didn't have anything remotely related to that. But then I wandered onto, I think it's Nanjing Road, I think is what it's called. And I went to the Tamashi Nations store, the Bandai store, which was so cool. There's a funny story attached to that, which I will get to in a second. But I walked in there looking for the Figuarts Frieren, because Frieren's my favorite anime. And they had her and Fern, so I picked up both of those. They need to make a Stark, please. He's my favorite character. Make a Stark. But I was checking out at the counter and I bought them, and then I noticed that there were other stores in behind the Tamashi Nations place, like in this sort of, not a mall, because there was only a couple of them, but there were other stores in there. So I did some exploring into those places, and they didn't really sell stuff I was interested in, but then I had to leave. And I could have just gone through the Tamashi Nation store, but I wasn't thinking. And I was like, where's the exit? And I see an exit sign. So I'm like, okay, cool. It goes downstairs, down some blue stairs. So I walk down those stairs, make a right, I believe it was. And then I was in a blue room full of gachapon machines, gaming stations, and like just tables for you to sit and drink and talk and eat and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, this place is really neat. Although the ceiling was like here, I felt really claustrophobic in there already. I'm like, I need to get out of here. This is not great. And then I saw this really tall lady in like a pink maid sort of outfit with a big tripod on a stick and a camera, and she was about to film something. She was like prepping her hair. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go around because I don't want to get in the back of her shot and mess up her shot, because that would be annoying for her. So I go around the corner, and then I see more maids, and then I realized that I'd accidentally walked into like a maid gaming cafe thing, and I'm like, I stick out, I need to get out of here. So I booked it out of there. I'm like, nope, that's not the last of the maid stories either, the accidental ones, but we'll get to that later. I then popped into a couple other locations on that street, like the big Miniso store, which again the ceiling was really short. Before leaving, I also stumbled into a Hamleys. I wasn't expecting a Hamleys, but I did. It's a British toy store for those who don't know. They had a lot of stuff. They had 3-0. I wasn't expecting to see 3-0 there. Oh, I also went and saw this thing. I got to see the Gundam statue. That was pretty epic. And the decapitated Gundam head that they have at the top of the escalator for some reason. I don't know. But the Gundam base itself was cool. It was really futuristic in there. It's kind of like an Apple store, but just for Gundams and Gunpla, which was great. And they had a lot of exclusive stuff, but everything I wanted was too big to fit in my suitcase. But I still wanted something more. There was one goal toy shopping wise I had when going down to China that I definitively wanted, which was I want to find some of the new Transformers early, because I know they'd come out over there already, like the Astro Train wave and the Smokescreen wave. I know that there's some figures that were there. And when I was at the Blockies office, I can't tell you about any of the toys that they had that I saw there, but one of the employees did have Smokescreen on his desk. So I'm like, okay, this is out here somewhere. I gotta find it. I was turning up empty everywhere. Oh, also, Tim Hortons. I can't escape it. Apparently, this is really popular down in Shanghai, and I didn't know that.
I may or may not have gotten a Happy Meal just to get this thing. Because we don't have these in Canada yet. So now I have one, yay.
But there was this one final place I wanted to check out called Choice Toys, which was located in some like underground dingy mall. Like I had to walk down some stairs into a hole in the ground to get into the entrance. So I took the subway there. It was quite a journey. It was like a 5-stop subway ride and then a 14-minute walk to get to the store. But I made it, well, at least to the mall. And then I got lost in the mall. It was super confusing. Like I got lost twice. I ended up leaving accidentally and then going back into the mall. I felt very out of place in a mall full of anime, gacha, and Chinese animation stores like these. Like there was just a lot of this everywhere and people walking around dressed as maids. Again, like you do you. I want to preface by saying I'm not making fun of people who dress like that. I'm just saying that I've never seen that before. It's a new experience for me. And it's crazy that it happened twice in the span of like 4 hours. It's also a 6'3" brown guy from Canada walking around in a mall like this makes me feel like I stick out and I hate sticking out. But I finally found the Transformers store and oh my goodness, it was insane. They had a whole, I didn't take a picture of it and I don't know why, but they had a whole cardboard cutout just for Last Night toys. They had Last Night Premier Edition Deluxes still, and they were cheap. Almost everything in there was cheap except for MPM Bumblebee, which I wanted, but it was more than I wanted to pay. But they were my savior. They had a smoke screen. They also had Cliff Jumper, but I already have them. But they had a smoke screen, so I instantly grabbed that. Plus something else that was really cool that I got for only $90, which I was very surprised. Smoke Screen 2 was 25 Canadian at that store. Deluxes are $36 Canadian in Canada.
All right. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, what did I actually end up buying from all of these places? Well, it's a lot.
You telling me this whole entire time I didn't need this adapter? I could just plug my North American charger into the thing? My phone's charging now. What the hell? So I got some Transformer stuff and some non-Transformers. A lot more non than actual Transformers, but I did get some. But the first thing that I got, I didn't actually buy this. Blockies gave this to me because it was part of the event, is this Hero Spire thing. It's their own like IP, but it looks cool. He's got alternate faces. I just put that one on. This was a fun little build. It's got a wire cape and everything. But then of the actual stuff I did get myself, well, there's this laundry basket. Full of Blockies. Yeah, so it was a pretty Blockies trip, obviously, but this has the Marvel Wave in it and then like some dinosaurs in it. I love the dinosaurs, specifically the Ankylosaurus. That one's my favorite. And then there's this one's really cool too. But at that first Toys R Us, I did buy one of these. I've always wanted to try a ZD Toys or ZD Toys if you live in the United States, Iron Man, and this was on clearance for $20 Canadian. It's not very good. I did open it a little bit. It's got a nice magnetic box. Like the box is really cool, but then you take him out and a lot of very nice accessories. These alternate hands are all the same pose. They're just slightly different like deco options, which I think is kind of neat. And the stand is cool, but the actual Iron Man itself, oh boy, is this thing, it's rough. So like that's all the ankle tilt you get. That's it. The knees look kind of ugly. The elbows only bend about 90 degrees. This is extremely loose. When you use the ab crunch, you can just see right into the torso and it doesn't crunch forward that far. It's not fantastic. The hips are weird because they go like that. It's just, yeah, no, don't get one of these. Spend the extra and get a 3-0 Iron Man because I also have one of those and it's so much better than this thing. I did buy the Thanos model. I did buy the Thanos model. I kind of wish I didn't, mainly because this took up so much space in my suitcase that there were other things I wanted more than this that I couldn't buy, like Joy Toy mechs, because they just wouldn't fit. But I did buy the really wibbly Thanos model. It's fine otherwise. It looks cool, but it's ratcheted, which is a bit strange. I don't know where I'm gonna put it, and it exists now. The build was fine. I mean, there are some num marks in some areas. You don't need tools, and this is entirely metallic painted, but you can't really see a lot of those num marks, which is pretty neat. The Infinity Gauntlet looks sweet too. I have this in my house now. Yay. At that same Toys R Us, this is all the first Toys R Us, by the way, I did get this. This is a mini Force figure. This is the smaller version. I got to mess with the big one, And I liked the big one, but the smaller one just kind of feels a bit more palatable for me personally. So I wanted this, and they had this. This was $40, I believe, Canadian. It is very nice. This is getting its own video, 100%, but it's such a cool thing. There was a Hamleys and an Aldi, but I did go into the Hamleys and I bought a metal card bot. This is the Centaur lady. What's her name? Sky Gallop, I believe. This thing is very, very neat. I love the passenger slash cargo plane it turns into. Again, getting her own video. And then at the Tamashi Nations store next to that Made gaming place that I accidentally walked into, I did buy these. This is my favorite anime, and so I wanted at least free run. I didn't really care about this, but then I saw both and I'm like, I'm not gonna see Fern again, so might as well. And they don't have a Stark, but I haven't opened these. Let's open up free run at least and see what this is like. I need something sharp, but I don't have anything sharp, so Style Gen Prime's axe is gonna have to do. Oh wow, that actually cut right through the tape. Okay. Now, my only experience with Figuarts figures is the Spy Family ones, and they're kind of not great. So let's see if, what is that? Oh, that's like the magic thing? Yeah, that's the magic ring. Everything's gonna fly everywhere when I do this. Ah. Oh, okay. Let's just get the plastic bag off the figure. And then that out of there. Okay, this feels a lot better than the other Figuarts I have. Wow, that looks really good. That looks really good, actually. Wow. All right, well, there you have free rent. I will open the rest of that later, but yes, cool. I like the joint tolerances already. We'll put that away. Now, like I said, I did specifically buy a Happy Meal to get this. So let's have a look at this quickly. This stupid like McDonald's bag that turns into a bird. I think that's a bird. This thing feels terrible. And now we can get onto the actual Transformers I purchased on this trip, which are simply just smokescreen and reflector, Canon reflector. Smokescreen's already had an entire video, so you know how I feel about this thing. This though, this is so cool. This is incredibly cool. I use a Canon camera. You're looking out of a Canon camera right now. So this is neat. This is based on the R5, I think. Yeah, it's an R5. It says R5. This is based off the Canon R5. I'm using an old Canon camera, the SL2. I need to upgrade. I actually was considering upgrading to one of these at some point. But yeah, you can take the lens off, which is where the arms live, which is pretty funny. And all the buttons and dials and things, they all work, like they all press. You can't pull the screen out, but I'll talk about that when I do this thing's video. And none of these open and none of these open. It does have the tripod mount, but that's pretty much everything I got from China. Let's see if I can put it all in frame. There we go, there's everything minus the basket of blockies, which I still need to find where to put all of these. They're gonna live in the laundry basket, but this is everything I got from China. Next year, if I go again, I'm taking a bigger suitcase.